Hi, welcome to Diamond Delight Edibles. My name is Liz, if this is the first time you stop by. And for the rest of you guys, hey, welcome back. Sorry, it's more like me welcome back. I know I've been away a while. I'm really sorry, but hopefully we'll be back on more of a regular schedule. So, what I have for you today is a Canna Pecan sour cream coffee cake. And yes, look at this puppy. Check it out. All right. So a quick correction I want to make in the video there. I said originally said it takes about 30 minutes to bake. That's all recipes fault because that's where I got the recipe from. It actually takes about 40 to 50 minutes. I took mine out at 38 minutes and the center isn't quite cooked. But so go for between 40 and 50 minutes and make sure to check your cake in the center with a skewer or a knife. Alright, so let's jump into those ingredients, what you need to get this baked, and let's get her baked. Alright, so let's get started. So what we're going to need for our Canna Pecan sour cream coffee cake, whew, that's a mouthful, say that 10 times fast. Yeah, pecan. I say pecans, get over it, tomato, whatever. I say pecans. I know some of you are just like cringing, but oh well. So you're going to want 1.5 cups of coarsely chopped pecans. This is for the crumble and for the filling part. 1/3 cup of packed brown sugar and 1/3 cup of white sugar. 3 tablespoons of melted butter. A teaspoon of cinnamon and 1/8 teaspoon of salt. As I said, that part's for our crumble. For our cake part, what you're going to need is 1 2/3 cups of flour, 1/2 cup of Canna sugar, 1/2 cup of white sugar, 1/4 cup of cannabutter, and 1/4 cup of regular butter. And it can be salted or unsalted, your preference. 1 cup of sour cream, 2 eggs, and 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 3/4 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And that, oh, I almost forgot the vanilla, and 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla. So that's all the ingredients for our cake. So for the equipment, what we're going to need, it's a pretty simple one, which is nice. You're just going to need 3 bowls, all about medium-sized bowls, larger one for your cake batter, and a parch-lined 8x8 pan, spatula, and a whisk. And yeah, I probably forgot something relatively minor, but we'll get into that later. And yeah, boom, that's everything we need. So let's get right into our cake here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to preheat our oven to 350 degrees. Get that warming up. And the first part of this is we're going to make the crumble. So into the bowl, put your nuts in. And need the equipment. Our sugar, let's get that kind of mixed around, as well as your cinnamon and your salt. And I'm going to get that all mixed in there before we add our butter in. This way everything gets evenly distributed. And we break up any chunks. Now our butter, going to drizzle it all over. I have a puppy on the floor here. I have to keep an eye on him. I'll show you him in a second. So you're going to whisk together or mix it, whichever works better for you. And you want to make sure that all your nuts are really well coated with the butter and the mixture. And sure, if you want to add cannabutter instead, you can. I just prefer for taste to do it this way. And once that's all nicely coated up there, let's give you a closer look at that. Once that's all nicely coated up there, We're just going to set that aside and we'll get started on the cake part. So first we're going to take our flour and we're going to add that into a bowl. And our salt and baking soda, and baking powder. Oh, need another whisk. And going to whisk those together. Again, make sure they're well distributed. And then into our large bowl, we are going to first add our butter. So that's a 1/4 cup of regular butter and a 1/4 cup of cannabutter. And I'm going to whisk those together. Just till they get all nicely mixed together. And then we're going to add in our sugar. We're going to cream in with our sugar and our butter. Cream those together. A spoon will work better for you. See, you get to learn by my mistakes. Get those creamed all nice together. And then we are going to crack in 1 egg to start. Oh, one thing I forgot to say. It's very important for your egg and your butter and your sour cream for everything to be room temperature. All your cold ingredients should be room temperature. So we're first going to whisk in 1 egg till that's well blended. You can even have a look-see. Once that's nicely mixed in, we're going to add our second egg. They're much slimier when they're warm. Oliver, what are you doing? Get out of there. Come here. Let's show you the people. Come here. Oh. This is my puppy, Oliver. Isn't he adorable? I love him. Troublemaker, could be, but oh my goodness, he's so much fun. Okay, back to cake making. So again, we're going to whisk that egg in until it is nicely mixed in there. And last but not least goes in our 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla. Or 1.5 vanilla. And our sour cream. Yum, yum. And again, we're just going to get that quickly blended. Oops, part of my vanilla ended up out of the bowl. I'm going to add just a little bit more. Let's add a little bit more vanilla in there because part of it ended up on the counter. Oops. Yeah, I'm not the neatest chef in the kitchen. So again, get that all blended nicely together. And you should have about this texture. All right, now last but not least is our flour and our salt mixture. And our baking soda and baking powder. And gently fold in your flours, not to make a mess everywhere. And get that all mixed in. Oh. You don't want to overmix your cake batter. I need to start working out. This is hard on my arms. That looks so yummy. Now grab your cake pan and your pecan and your sugar mix there and butter. Yum, yum. And we are first going to put half of the batter. Whoops! That's slippery and heavy. So we're going to put in about half the batter first. Apparently I don't work upside down very well. Offset spatula would be helpful. Get that scooted down. Parchment paper can be difficult sometimes. Very handy, but a pain in the butt sometimes, man. So you want to get that evenly distributed. Again, as evenly as you can. Doesn't have to be pretty. Smaller offset would probably help too. Ooh, she's thinking today. Yes, much easier. Little stoner moment, you know. What can you do when you live in a shoe? Move to a boot and get laced. Alright, once you get that all there nicely, relatively even, you're going to take part of your mix, your crumble mix. Get your hands in there, get it all well coated up. Yum, yum. You want to do a nice filling here. Then we're going to add the other half of our cake batter. Hoi! If I don't drop it all over the floor. Yum, yum, yum. I cannot wait for this to be baked. Oh my goodness. And again, just even it out. Just want to be gentle because the topping in there. Sorry, not the topping, because the filling in there. Just lightly. Make sure your top's all covered. Then we're going to take the remainder of our crumble and put her all over the top. Oh, oh, oh. Oh. It tastes this already. Oh my goodness. And there we go. There's our cake. So we're going to pop this into our preheated oven of 350 degrees for 30 minutes. And middle rack. Always middle rack. Well, not always, but in this case, middle rack. All right, so we will be back in 30 minutes to check that out. All right, so it's been 30 minutes. I'm going to give the cake a check. I'm going to use a skewer. You can use a toothpick or a knife. That is not quite cooked. So the recipe I used, which was from all recipes, they lied. So it's not 30 minutes. As wet as that still is, I'm going to go for at least probably 40 minutes to 45 minutes to bake your cake. That's still pretty gooey. It's also going to depend on your ovens. Not all ovens run the same temperatures and altitudes and stuff. So we'll put that back in for about 10 more minutes and we'll give it another check. All right, so at 38 minutes I checked it and we're good to go. So I'm going to pull this puppy out. Looks so good. Ooh, yum. Check out our cake. Doesn't that look delicious? Ooh. So it ended up taking 38 minutes. So we'll do a reset on that where I said 30 minutes way back there when we put it in the oven. So it's actually going to be probably between 35 to 40 minutes for baking this cake. And I'm going to let her cool on a baker's rack here. And baker rack is a good idea to always let your baking stuff cool on because you get airflow underneath and that way it doesn't get any moisture build up in that on the bottom of your cakes or other things that you may be baking. So as I said, gonna let that cool off, and then I'll be back to give her a try. Oh, I can't wait. This looks so frickin' good. All right, so our cake is cooled. Well, not completely, because I just can't wait that long to try it. So yeah, but it's cool enough for me to cut into here. So let's dig her in. Let's dig in. And just to let you know, you're actually going to need to bake this for about between 40 and 50 minutes. I thought at 38 it was done, but right in the center it's not quite cooked. Makes me sad. So go for at least between 40 and 50 minutes. Check this out. Oh my goodness, does that look scrumptious. Check it out. Ooh. Gotta get a close-up of that. Doesn't that look great? Ah! I bet you're jealous. I get to try this. Ah! Oh yeah. This is so good. The crumble on top, and the moist cake inside with the center, with the pecan and sugar center. Oh my God, this is so good. Oh, I can't stop eating it. All right, I better stop. All right, guys. So that's everything for me today. I hope you enjoyed that recipe for Canna Pecan Sour Cream Coffee Cake. And I hope to hear from you. If you have any questions or comments, please don't hesitate to put them down below. I promise I'm going to start getting back to them a little better than I have been. I just haven't been well, but you don't need to hear about that. All right, guys. So once again, take care, and thank you so much for joining.